Do you ever wonder why people say mean things and make you feel like you're about this big? I'm going to show you. So, this is your house, and this is their house. So, we can either build our own house up and make ourselves feel bigger and better by helping someone else build their house, or we can make ourselves feel bigger and better by tearing someone else's house down to make our house look bigger. So, here's how it works. Usually when people are tearing other people down, it's because they have some sort of insecurity or low self-esteem, or there's something that they don't like about themselves internally, externally, something about their past. There's something that you have in your life that they don't, and they want it. And they feel like they're never going to be able to get it. So instead of complimenting you and saying, wow, it's so amazing that you are able to help others. Wow, it's so amazing that you took the time to say something nice to me. You're just such a beautiful person. See, your house is getting bigger and they feel like their house is staying the same. But really, when you build someone else up, then you start to feel better too. At least that's how it's supposed to work. And then you both can build your houses together. But there's so much fear that your house will always get bigger and bigger and bigger, and their house will never get bigger and bigger and bigger. So instead, what they do is they take things away from you. Wow, you think you're better than everybody else. Why do you act like that? Even though you've never done anything to make them have any proof of that. Wow, you're really ugly. And meanwhile, they're thinking to themselves, like, gosh, I'm the best person. I help everybody. I'm so beautiful. I have more than this person. And I'll give you a perfect example of this situation. So this happened a lot with the abusive boyfriend I mentioned in a previous video. He would tear me down with verbal insults because that made himself feel better about him. He felt like making my house smaller was actually making his house bigger, and then it was making him feel better about himself. Meanwhile, it was making me feel horrible. And then I felt more drawn to him and I felt like I had to stay with him. Here's another time that it happened. And this was also in high school. So I was sitting in my room with a girl who I thought was my best friend. And I was in this abusive relationship. She did not know. But in her mind, I had a boyfriend and she didn't. And she didn't like that. So instead of saying, wow, Kim, it's really amazing that you have a boyfriend, you have someone to do things with and share experiences with, she said, and here we go, she's continuing to tear my house down to build her house up. I'm so much prettier than you. I don't understand why you have a boyfriend and I don't. My personality is better than yours. So if anyone should have a boyfriend, it should be me. And meanwhile, I felt like I was this big and didn't understand where this was coming from. And her house grew and grew and grew. So this is why people do rude things and say rude things and treat people badly. It's because they want to make their house feel bigger because then they feel bigger. They feel better. They feel stronger, more empowered. They feel like their self-esteem is improving and they are worthy and lovable and all of those things. And then at the expense of you. So if someone is doing this to you, no, it's not really about you. It's not really about your house. It's really about them. It's about their insecurities. It's about their perceived flaws and weaknesses. It's about them feeling intimidated about you and not being able to celebrate you to build themselves up, but to be able to tear you down to build themselves up. So it's not about you. It's really about them and the work they haven't done with themselves to see what kind of person they really are. They don't have to be the person to tear people down. They really don't. They could be the person to build people up, and they don't realize that that will also feel really, really good. And that will make them feel like a better person. So if you've ever caught yourself tearing someone else's house down to build your house up, take a look at what triggered that behavior. Take a look at what made you feel like you had to speak badly about someone else. Do you feel like they have something that you don't have? Do you feel like they've taken something from you? Maybe it was a job, maybe it was a friendship, maybe it was an intimate relationship, maybe it was an award. What is it that you feel like you're missing because they have it? And so that will stop the tearing of the houses down, and it will help us to start building each other up, because when we can build someone else up, we can also build ourselves up.